And this is, wait a sec, they changed the arena.
Huh?
The chairs used to all be red. Remember that?
David, this arena's only 3 years old.
Right, I think the chairs...
No, that was old Auburn Hills, wasn't it?
No, there's a Little Caesars Arena, and I'm going to check with George. Hello, Greg. Hello, George. You're live. I have a question. Didn't the chairs used to be red?
Yeah, did it?
Right, and then it didn't look good on television, right? Okay, I'm not crazy. Ron was saying I'm crazy. Yeah, listen to your broadcast today. You guys sound great.
Thank you.
That's the great Greg Kessler, by the way. Huh? Right. What was that?
I'll tell you when the seats were red.
When were the seats red?
Utah pulled in here 19 and 28 one year.
Yeah.
Won.
Yeah.
And then just tore the league up and got to the playoffs.
Yeah, right. You changed our whole franchise in one night on an inbound pass when Andre Drummond pulled too high and we got backdoor on him. And we'll forever thank Andre Drummond for it. We can talk about it now. You traded him. We can talk about it now. We appreciate it. Changed our whole franchise. That is Greg Kessler, by the way, who was Magic Johnson's running mate. When they first came out, the arena seats were red, and nobody was coming to the game. They didn't tell me this part. And nobody was coming to the games, and it looked so bad on television that they had to change them. But when they first built this arena, they were red for the Red Wings and the Pistons. And then when nobody shows up to Pistons games, it looked really bad to have all these red seats on television. There goes Joe.
Didn't get a chance to watch him warm up.
You know Joe is way better on the road than he is at home?
I wonder why is that?
I don't know. It's not close.
You think kids have
I would
anything to do
never
with
say that.
at home?
Renee, I didn't say that, Renee. That was Ron. I have no idea.
No, that is... There has been a lot of players like that, though, that are better road players than they are at home, and then vice versa.
I think Royce is a much better home player than a road player.
Yeah, so there is something to that.
Joe's isn't close, though. Like, if you wonder why we've won 5 straight on the road, it might be Joe. There's George Niang, ladies and gentlemen. They're all being summoned into the locker room right now because they have to do an early scouting report because they didn't shoot around and they didn't walk through today. And they didn't even have their morning meeting because we got in at 3 o'clock in the morning. How are you, by the way? You were very disturbed last night when you started to do the math about how late we were getting in. I very rarely in the 11 years we've been together ever seen you flustered. I thought you were almost flustered last night.
There's a problem with the time we got in, and it'll be the same tomorrow morning. Now, I'm a guy that regardless of what time you go to bed, I'm going to wake up at the same time every morning.
So
that's between 7 and 7:30, I'm wide awake. Correct?
So even on, so is that 9:30 this morning you woke up?
I was up at 7:30.
So it doesn't matter time zone.
Doesn't matter time zone.
So you're on 4 hours sleep right now?
Yeah, 4 hours of sleep. I did get a little nap this afternoon.
Good.
Okay. Tomorrow morning will be the same thing.
Right, but there's snow. There's skiing to be done tomorrow, so it's okay.
Oh, David, I don't ski.
You go to church, I go to my church.
And that's the problem I have. Church service is at 8 o'clock, and so I'm going to wake up, and I'm just going to go to church and have to come back home and take a nap.
Okay, now, I'm going to share on the plane. So what happened to us last night is that, like, basically everything added 30 minutes. Like, so instead of tipping at 7 or 7:30, we tipped at 8.
Right.
And then we got out about 30 minutes later than we were supposed to from the arena. And then it started snowing on our drive to the arena. So then we had to de-ice, which is 30 minutes. And then the airport here is really far away, so that was another 30. And Ron was like adding the 30 up. He was like, it's an extra hour and a half. We got an extra hour and a half. We're going to get 3 o'clock. It should be 1:30 at 3 o'clock. He didn't sound like that, but he wasn't happy. Here's Brandon Knight. That's a pretty good story. Brandon Knight was originally a Detroit Pistons draft pick. And then got traded for Brandon Jennings to Milwaukee. And then had some knee injuries. Got moved to Phoenix. Ball. And then went to Phoenix, knee problems, kind of got, I don't know, anything like banished, but he just got kind of like taken, like no one played him. He went to Houston. He's been part of like every salary piece trade, and now they're so short, guys, after letting Reggie Jackson go, that he's playing on that left knee and getting back at it a little bit, which is good for him. I got an interesting note for you.
Okay.
I'll drop this in the broadcast. You can be really smart. So he got traded, Brandon Knight for Brandon Jennings. It was a big trade at the time.
Yeah, it was. Jennings was left-handed.
Glad to have you back, man. There was another player in that trade. Here, we'll look at Ron. There's Ron. There was another player in that trade that was added by Detroit and sent to Milwaukee in the Brandon Knight, Brandon Jennings trade. Like, that was supposed to be kind of a 1-for-1. But instead, Detroit added a second-round draft pick and sent it to Milwaukee. Do you have any idea who that is?
Rod.
Huh?
Rod.
No. Good try. Chris Middleton.
Wow.
Right. Ouch. Right. I actually think David Morway on our staff was part of the Milwaukee crew that pulled off that trade.
B.J. Armstrong.
Hey, that is B.J. Armstrong. That's Emmanuel.
In Chicago Bulls. I think he was
Yep.
a couple of championship teams there, wasn't he?
He's also Emmanuel Moutier's agent.
Yeah.
So, who's Malik Rose is talking over here. Malik Rose is talking to Boris Diaw over there. There's a fun one. Malik Rose was in the NBA and with the Spurs. Boris Diaw, we all know Boris Diaw. Boris is now with the French team.
We're probably going to have to get out of the way of some.
All right, and they're taking over the floor, so we're leaving.